How much of an ASBO do you feel doing that in a car park?
I feel like we should change your windows.
Come on, the carbon.
Carbon's nice, isn't it?
I have some carbon
Come on.
inside, but you
Carbon
gotta
needs
look
to fit.
carefully.
Yeah, look really careful. If you've got a microscope, we can. Welcome to another video. Welcome to Under the Bonnet. Today, you're actually going to join us as a continuation from the last video. We just saw me install, well, I didn't install anything. Bilal install the Eventuri intake, which is specific and made for the A35. And we're going to see the differences between a stock car and a stock engine and a pretty much stock car just with the Eventuri intake. So we're going to look at sound differences, we're going to look at visual differences, and we'll talk about any other differences there is between the intake and not having the intake. So, let's go. This is what stock airbox and stock configuration on the A35 AMG looks like. And this is what an addition of an Eventuri airbox and air filter along with the Eventuri turbo pipe for the A35. So Eventuri do this separately. You can buy just the the airbox, or you can have both, which is the turbo pipe as well as the airbox. We'll talk about some of the benefits of having both or just a single one if you want it. And we'll also talk about the benefits versus stock. Okay, before we even get to the airbox, we're going to talk about how the air gets into an airbox right now, okay? So, for any A35, whether it's a stock airbox or one with the Eventuri intake, most air is taken through the grill, that goes through the intercooler, and it goes straight into the airbox over here. And for stock, the exact same thing happens. It just looks slightly different. The air is comes in from over here, and it goes straight into the airbox. And now is where the differences begin. For the Eventuri, that is not the only air intake. So Eventuri have developed this in a way where this is a part closed airbox. If you look very carefully, this is an open-ended airbox at this side, and there is a red air filter which is inside. Now, the reason for this open spaces is through all the testing, they realize there is colder air in this part of the airbox, and all the warm air sits on the inside over here, where the turbo sits just underneath this metal heat shield cover as well. So it's taking extra cold air from inside the engine bay as well as the stock airbox. So there's an increase in amount of air it can take in because the air filter itself is bigger too. Now versus stock, the airbox, the Eventuri airbox, is actually a bigger in volume as well. So the stock airbox is just over here, and you can see size-wise, apart from the plastic cover on top, size-wise, it's actually a much smaller airbox. So the air filter inside is a panel filter currently, and quite small, or much smaller than what it is now with the Eventuri. So as a box itself, this is a one integrated box. It's designed specifically for this engine bay. If we go into geeky specifics, this is the old airbox, sorry, this is the stock airbox. You can see there is ridges specifically over here in the intake area, so when the air comes in firstly. So what that does, it disturbs the air flow coming inside. And if you go into the Eventuri version, they have just smoothed that out. The reason it's ribbed or ridges in the original one is to allow for slight bits of flex. But what Eventuri have done is built that flex into other parts of this airbox, which is just here. This will flex, I'm not going to touch it because it's hot, but this flexes this area just over here. Do you want to take a look at it? Do you want to see the differences? Carbon fiber over here.
The same engine.
No, you have to choose one. Which one do you like better?
Which car looks better?
No, you have to choose. You have to choose one.
Should we close the bonnet?
No, not like.
Oh no!
You know what? You're very smart.
No, he would say that.
Yellow's like, yeah, it's nice.
Carbon there.
Come on, the carbon.
Carbon's nice, isn't it?
The carbon's nice. That is
I have some carbon
Come on.
inside, but you
Carbon
really
needs
gotta
to
look
fit.
carefully.
Yeah, look really careful. If you've got a microscope, we can.
We see it somewhere.
yellow's nice though. They're both nice cars.
No. Don't be sorry about it. Please.
We might have already subscribed.
Bro, come on. What you can do as well though is upgrade this turbo pipe you see right here. Now this turbo pipe stock is usually a plastic pipe, and I love just having another one right here. So out of the airbox, this air gets fed directly into the turbo. But what the difference is between this system and that is because the airflow is less disturbed, also the air is cooler going in because you also get cold air feed intake towards the cold side of the engine bay. It's just a bit more efficient when you get more air in there. And when an engine's more efficient, what it usually translates to is also more power. Now I know you all want to hear that. There's actually a power increase with just the air intake. You could get good gains by tuning a car like this, and there'll be even bigger gains, but I think just stock for stock, an airbox and turbo pipe is about, I think it's 10 to 15 horsepower they quote on the website. That is the difference. We're going to do a sound comparison now. So the sound comparison will be against stock airbox and the Eventuri. Let's rev up stock first and let's see what it sounds like. All right, and now let's hear what the Eventuri sounds like. Wow, there's a bit more of a flutter there. God, I love the sound of that. Let's hear a bit more, let's hear a bit more.
Basically what I'm doing, I'm looking at this and I'm basically trusting you with my life. I'm not looking out the window.
About the sound differences, you've heard some exterior sound shots while I've been driving as well. It just sounds great, to be completely honest. Big sound difference. I think that's like the biggest difference I've found while owning it, is top end power has been definitely improved, as well as the sound, which is really cool. So again, I'm very fortunate. Thank you to Eventuri for letting me test the air intake. I'm not any sort of influencer where they give it for free for any other reason. I'm actually just been lucky because I can test the intake myself. So yeah, thanks to them. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let your mates know about it if you like this video. Anyone looking to get an A35 or looking to mod it, point them my way. I know lots of useless information about A35s. So yeah, hope you're able to help out. Take care.